for our story, we're going to Denmark again, to wonderful, wonderful Copenhagen, another fairy tale from Hans Christian Andersen, the Steadfast Tin Soldier, helped along with a little bit of music from Tchaikovsky.
Once upon a time, there were 25 tin soldiers. They were all fashioned out of the same old tin spoon. They were painted in red and blue uniforms, they shouldered muskets, and they looked straight ahead. "Attention, tin soldiers!" cried a small boy on his birthday. He lined them up on the table. But one tin soldier looked a bit different. He'd been made last of all, and the tin ran out just before he could have 2 legs. So he only had 1 leg. But still he stood straight, steadfast, and tall. In the room with the 25 tin soldiers lived many other toys. A castle with windows and a moat, miniature trees, a mirror lake, wax swans, little ducks and horses, and a pretty little ballerina wearing a beautiful white sequin dress with a blue ribbon. She danced beautifully. She could lift a leg so high behind her that it looked like she only had 1 leg. At least that's what our steadfast tin soldier saw. "She only has 1 leg. She'd be a perfect match for me," thought the steadfast tin soldier. "But she's too fine. She lives in a castle. I live in a box. But I do want to meet her," he admired her. When evening came, all the toys were put away. The tin soldiers were put in their box, and the boy went to bed. At midnight, the toys began to play in their little world. They had visits and battles and dances in the castle. The tin soldiers shouted, "Hey, we want to play too," but they couldn't get the lid open. A nutcracker did somersaults, a swan swam, a pencil wrote out jokes, ducks quacked, horses neighed, a canary screeched and woke everyone in the castle who wasn't dancing. Through all of this, the tin soldier and the little ballerina stood still. She held out her arms to him, and the tin soldier stood steadfast on his 1 leg. He kept his eyes on her. Then up popped a jack-in-the-box. "Tin soldier," he said, "keep your eyes to yourself." The tin soldier ignored him. "Just you wait until tomorrow." In the morning, the boy put his soldiers on the window ledge. Jack jumped out of the box, the window flew open, and our steadfast tin soldier fell out, down 3 stories. He landed headfirst, bayonet buried in the pavement, with his 1 leg stuck up in the air. The little boy ran down to look for him, but walked right past without seeing him. If only our soldier had called out, "Here I am," he would have been saved. But soldiers never make a racket when they're in uniform. It began to rain, torrential. After the rain, 2 boys saw him. "Hey, look, there's a tin soldier. Let's set him sailing." They made a paper boat, put the soldier on it, and sailed him down the street and into the gutter. The boys laughed. The tin soldier, however, stood steadfast through the crashing waves, the rocky pavement, and the big fall down the gutter. He never flinched. He kept his eyes in front and carried his gun shoulder height. Suddenly it was very dark. "Where am I going?" he thought. Out popped a rat. "Halt! Who goes there?" said the rat. "Pay the toll." The soldier kept quiet and held his musket tight. Onwards rushed the boat, and the rat raced after it, gnashing his teeth. "Halt! Stop! Pay the toll! Pay the toll!" But the current carried the boat and the soldier away. The soldier heard a frightening roar of water. "It's the drain pouring into the great canal, a dangerous high and mighty waterfall." He couldn't stop. The boat plunged down and into a whirlpool. The poor tin soldier stood as steadfast as he could. He didn't blink an eye. The boat filled to the top and was sinking. The water was up to his neck. The paper boat went down deeper and deeper and deeper. It broke apart. Water gushed over his head. He thought of the pretty little ballerina and how he wouldn't see her again. Farewell, farewell, my brave warrior, whom nobody from death can save. The soldier sank. But just then he was swallowed by an enormous fish. How dark it was inside that fish. Darker than the gutter, darker than the water, and cramped. But the tin soldier stood steadfast, with musket to shoulder. 3 days inside the fish, then the fish flopped and floundered frantically. Strange. Then it was perfectly still. Strange. Then slowly dragging movements around. Strange. What was happening? The fish had been caught, carried to market, bought, sold, and taken into a kitchen where it was cut open with a big knife. The tin soldier saw daylight at last. "Zuttaloa, the tin soldier," said the cook, who picked him up and carried him upstairs to the boy. "My tin soldier," said the boy. "Thank you, thank you." The tin soldier saw the same toys, his fellow soldiers, the same children, the same table, the same fine castle, and the pretty little ballerina. There would be a party again that night. He was overjoyed, but he stood his ground and made not a sound. The ballerina, pleased to see the soldier, balanced on one leg with the other raised high. She too was steadfast and made not a sound. That touched the soldier very deeply. He wanted to cry. But he looked at her, and she looked at him, and never a word was said. They embraced. But just then the jack-in-the-box flew out of his box, crashed into them both, and sent them spinning into the fireplace. The tin soldier stood there in the flames. He felt the terrible heat, not only from the fire, but also from his love for the ballerina. She felt it too. They burned with love and melted into each other's arms. All that was left was the tin of the tin soldier and the sequins from the ballerina's dress. The tin melted into the shape of a heart, and it was emblazoned with the sequins from her dress.